Sherelle was my manager. She knew Diddy. Played my demo for Diddy. This is right hand to God. Diddy's exact words were, "We don't need a good boy on bad boy." Those were exact words. That was the feedback. She came back and told me. She was like, "I let him hear it." I'm like, "What did he say?" "We don't need a good boy on bad boy." God blocked it. He wouldn't let it be so. Ooh, ah. That boy said, "We don't need a good boy on bad boy." That's what he said. And guess what? That was the end of that.
And he was a bad boy.
He is a bad boy.
Hi there. I guess a question that I could have is, how do you know if there's something in your life that maybe God was doing, but maybe you let anxiety or scared thoughts or intruding thoughts take over too much and it got messed up?
I love you, SB. All right, so I got a real strong image as you were talking, and I saw you at a, I saw you in a, the batter's box. I don't even know if you understand baseball or follow it, but you're in the batter's box, and these pitches are being thrown at you, and some of them you're not even swinging at. You just watching them go by. And then a few more pitches go by, and you're swinging at those, and you ain't even connecting. And the thought that you're having is what you just asked me. How do I know that I'm not letting anxiety get in the way? Yeah. Well, you ain't swinging. You're not swinging at no pitches. How do I know if I messed it up? Maybe you swung and you missed. What is my encouragement to you? Once you find out, because I'm not really interested in answering the question that you asked. I'm here to encourage you to get back in the batter's box and swing at a pitch. Oh, it's a fastball, it's a curveball. I don't even know how to, I can't even time it. Just swing. Do you know that there's baseball players in the Hall of Fame that connect with the pitches that have been thrown at them throughout their whole career less than 30% of the time? There's people in Cooperstown who have connected with all the pitches ever thrown to them less than 30% of the time. I'm not asking you to hit a home run, SB. I'm just asking you to get on base. Homie, you got to swing at something. You just got to swing at something. And you cannot be afraid to fail. Again, I'm not answering the question that you asked. But I actually do not feel like that's the question, or I actually don't feel like that's the question that needs to be addressed. I feel like what needs to be addressed is the anxiety that you feel and the paralyzation it's caused. You're just watching too much stuff go by, boo. And I don't need you to watch this stuff go by anymore. I need you to swing. I need you to swing. You are going to connect with something. But you cannot be afraid for the rest of your life to make a move because you're afraid of failing. You might fail, but you better try.
Do you have any stories like that where you were in that position where you were swinging, trying to make something happen, and it felt like you were catching some misses? What was that like?
Yeah, it's like I've always been the type of person that if I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do, I'm just going to try it. Mm-hmm. The worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, bro, if I told you all the stuff I did in my 20s, I did stuff that other people dream about doing. Mm. So long before American Idol, long before The Voice, I grew up watching Showtime at the Apollo. Showtime at the Apollo went on tour. They came to Fort Worth. I was rapping and doing stand-up at the time. I stood outside for an open audition to the Showtime at the Apollo. When they came to Fort Worth, the contestants, whoever they picked, were going to perform at the Bass Hall. And whoever won from there got to go back to New York. They came to Fort Worth. They had open auditions. I stood in line for 7 hours on a cold, either January or February day, which is dead winter in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Slicing your skin.
Bro, I was so stinking cold. My fingers were numb. The line just, and they got through everybody. I give them credit. They got through everybody. I went in to do a 2-minute stand-up routine. I was so cold and so pissed by the time I got in that I decided to do a freestyle because I didn't even care if I got accepted or not anymore. So I gave them the CD. It had the instrumental to Grinding by the Clips. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Grinding. Boom, boom, boom. It was that beat. If you don't know nothing about that beat, go find that beat. That beat is fire. And so they were like, what you gonna do? I was like, I'm about to freestyle. They were like, have you already given the, absolutely. Track number 4. Boom, boom, boom. And I did a whole freestyle about how I stood in this line for 7 hours and it was so cold I couldn't feel my fingers, and y'all been in here warm and toasty, but we out there freezing our butt off and blah, 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 blah. And the judges were laughing and da-da-da-da. And I didn't even care. I was actually venting. I actually didn't care. And I just thought I was going to do this rhyme and then be like, oh, well, hey, thanks, guy. I appreciate you coming. Judges looked at each other. They were like, you're going to perform at the Bass Hall. You're one of our finalists. Congratulations. I performed at the Bass Hall in Fort Worth to that same Clips instrumental, because whatever you came in with is what you got to do now. And I did not get booed off stage. I came out, that beat dropped. I started rapping. Some people in the balcony started booing. I actually addressed them booing during the freestyle, and the crowd went crazy. I lost to a dude that played the trumpet. What kind of open audition? What kind of talent search is this? Where an MC loses to a guy. That's Showtime at the Apollo. A beautiful vocalist could lose to a juggler. It just depends on the night.
Yep.
Right? But yo, I got that memory. I have that experience.
Yep.
It didn't turn into a record deal. Thank God. I could have got signed by Diddy.
Oh my God.
That could have been devastating.
Come on, tell us what you're thinking about Diddy, brother.
I'm not telling you what. Oh, I can tell you something about Diddy.
Yeah.
I had back in my battle rapping and I did come out with an album and I did a bunch of mixtapes. I can say her first name. I won't say her last name. Sherelle was my manager. She knew Diddy. She had a plug to Diddy. She went to New York, played my demo for Diddy. This is right hand to God. Diddy's exact words were, we don't need a good boy on bad boy. Those were exact words. Wow. That was the feedback. She came back and told me. She was like, I let him hear it. I'm like, what did he say? We don't need a good boy on bad boy. God blocked it. He wouldn't let it be so. God blocked it.
What a blessing to not be a bad boy.
Hey. That boy said, we don't need a good boy on bad boy. That's what he said. And guess what? That was the end of that.
And he was a bad boy.
He is a bad boy.
Whoa. 2 record labels that were like self-fulfilling prophecies. Death Row Records.
Death Row Records and Bad Boy.
And Bad Boy.
They actually told you in the name.
That's crazy,
This is exactly who we are.
Wow.
Right? Somebody on Death Row Records died. And the bad boy of Bad Boy Records is a bad boy.
And we'll leave it at that.
And might go to prison. He might go to prison.
Yeah.
He might go to prison.
Yeah.
Right? So But I have all these experiences because I swung at pitches, fam. I swung at pitches. I didn't know if rapping was going to pop off. I didn't know if stand-up was going to pop off. I didn't know if preaching was going to pop off.
Yep.
I didn't know what was about to pop off. I didn't know if I was supposed to be in corporate America. So guess what? I swung at everything. I connected with ministry. That's what God confirmed.
Yep.
That's where I went. But I got all these experiences growing up because I just wasn't afraid to swing at a pitch. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that, man. They got an open mic tonight. Oh, man, I don't know. Oh. I was the freestyle battle champion on 97.9 The Beat for 45 days straight. Head Crack Super K keynote back then. Ask Crack about me. Head Crack will tell you to this day. Oh, yeah, I know Anonymous. I went by Anonymous Who back then. That was my rap name because I didn't want nobody to know who I was. I did 45 days straight. They invited me to Caribbean Grill. Caribbean Grill was off Webb Chapel and 635. And it was like a Caribbean, it was called Caribbean Grill. It was an island restaurant by day, and they turned it into a club at night. They had a thing on Monday nights called Monday Night Fights. They said, hey, yo, I want you to come to the thing and put your name in the hat. Basically, it was 8 Mile style battle rapping, right? And I went. The first night I signed up, I won. Just swinging at pitches. I didn't get signed to a record deal, but I wound up getting favor with with Head Crack Super K keynote, Head Crack Super Key or Super K and keynote. Yeah, I can't. Head Crack Super K and keynote. I think the third guy's name was, but they invited me to all the radio events that they had, Super Bowl parties, all that kind of stuff. God gave me favor with those guys. Yeah. And then God gave me favor with like the Dallas MC community, the rhymers that was in DFW. I got in good with those guys. Wow. But I'm just swinging at pitches. Why? Because I'm trying everything. I don't know what's supposed to pop off. I worked a whole bunch of jobs. I worked at CarMax, the auto superstore. I worked for this company called Walk the Talk. I worked for Nissan Motor Acceptance Corporation. I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to figure it out. You got to do something.
We're only here off of a pitch.
We're only here off of a pitch, fam.
Derek moderated for like a whole year straight. That's voluntarily.
That's what I'm talking about.
I told JB, I'll help you produce that pod for free.
That's exactly right.
And now here we are.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So to SB's point though, what happens if you miss? You're gonna get another pitch. Swing at it.
Swing.
Let's say you was too afraid to do this. Okay, cool. But remember, God opened doors and he shuts doors. Mm-hmm. And don't be mad when he shuts them.
Hey, Uncle Tim. So I'm trying to hold the tension right now between like accepting that I have some negative characteristics from my dad who has narcissistic traits, and the way that his traits have negatively impacted my romantic relationships in the past. I guess I want to ask, like, how can I, not take on so much shame knowing that I could have been better and accepting that the relationship's over. Like, I can't do anything to fix it. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I thank you and I love you. You're amazing.
I love you too, Taylor. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful you asked this question. So, first of all, kudos to you for the self-awareness, right? The self-awareness to know, first of all, what you've picked up from your father. Also, the self-awareness to know what he's actually contributed to that you picked up on. And you're seeing him for who he really is, right? You're not putting the but with your dad. You're putting the and, right? Hey, my dad's really good. And he's maybe really good in some areas. And he has some narcissistic traits and behaviors that I've picked up on. Well, first of all, I just want to celebrate the self-awareness because a lot of people wouldn't be able to pinpoint that. Or they would just say, my dad is like this and therefore I've been like that, right? But you notice where you picked it up from. All right, now you realize how that behavior compromised the relationship you were in, and the relationship's over, and the relationship ain't coming back. Woohoo! Now you're trying to figure out, what do I do with the result of my findings? Well, first of all, you grieve what you lost. And you accept that it is over. Let me tell you something. There is so much to be said about a person that can own the fact that they messed up a relationship, that they contributed to the demise of a relationship. Bless you.
Thank you.
And they can go, you know what? I own this part of it. I realize that this was probably what made this person walk out of this relationship. And whether it's a dating relationship or a marriage, right? Or a friendship, when you can own your role and then accept that one's over, I ain't gonna get that one back. Dang. Oh, I wish I would have known then what I know now. We could have changed some stuff. But you know what? It ain't gonna happen again. Ooh, I'm so much more well-equipped going into the next relationship based on what I know now. Listen, this is why you got to properly leave. This is why you got to properly grieve so you can properly leave. All right. So Taylor, I'm going to just make up some names, right? So let's just say you was dating Derek. Okay. So no, we got a Derek here. Let's say you were dating Robert. Okay. So you're dating Robert. You were dating Robert and you royally messed it up. Right. And you recognize that, but you really liked Robert and you wish Robert would give you another chance. But Robert has made it very, very clear in no uncertain terms, he ain't messing with you no more. Like, he bumped that, I'm done, deuces, I'm out. All right, go grieve Robert. Grieve him thoroughly. Grieve him completely. Your body's going to integrate that, and you are going to be like, you're going to accept this is the role I contributed to the demise of this relationship. I fully own and take responsibility for my actions in that and the fact that Robert left. Boom. Now, write an obituary to Robert. Whether it's mentally or physically. Herein lies Robert. Dated him for 9 months. It was beautiful, but it's over. And it's not coming back. Relationship is dead. All right? Let a balloon go if you need to. Play your favorite song. I don't know. Drink a shot. A shot. Not like 14 of them. Okay? Have a shot. And then let it be over. Right? So now it's over. Boom. Deuces. And now you get to go on and you get to go, you know what? I'm going to be a gift to somebody. Next relationship, I'm going to be a hell of a gift to somebody. Why? I learned from Robert. I learned from my relationship with Robert. This will kill a relationship.
Yeah.
I learned that this type of behavior that I picked up from my father will not be conducive in a relationship. I tried it. It did not work. I will not make that mistake again. You move on and you give the next person a gift. Like, the reason why I think this is a cheat code for you is because do you know how many people are giving their next partner in a relationship a bomb? They're giving them an explosive device because they did not metabolize and learn from the previous relationship. So they about to bring all that trauma and all that pain into the next relationship. And guess what? It's about to blow up. So you get to give your next a gift.
Yeah.
Because of what you processed with your ex. So glean from that, learn from that, steward that, and then make your next the best because of what you learned from your ex.
Hey.